Okay, now let us learn about some terms such as delta hypertension. What do you mean by delta hypertension? When there is blood pressure greater than 140 by 90 mm of Hg, there may be sudden rise in mean arterial pressure, acute rise in blood pressure. And here we see complications such as preeclampsia, eclampsia and HELLP syndrome. These are rare complications. What do you mean by HELLP syndrome? HELLP syndrome is nothing but hemolysis, elevated liver enzymes and low platelet count. Okay. Next, mean arterial pressure is defined as diastolic blood pressure plus one third of mean systolic pressure. And what do you mean by preeclampsia? Today our topic is preeclampsia. In preeclampsia, we deal about introduction, etiology, pathogenesis. For the if anyone want to take the notes at the last, I'll mention photos. You can take screenshot. Okay. In preeclampsia, it is a pregnancy specific syndrome. Gestational hypertension with proteinuria is called preeclampsia. Proteinuria means it should be greater than 300 mg per day. Proteinuria is mainly due to the glomerular endothelium damage. Urine protein to creatinine ratio must be greater than 0.3 grams per day. On dipstick, it is graded as 1 plus. We have 5 stages. That is when it is proteinuria is 0.1 grams per liter, it is called trace, and 1 plus when it is 0.3, 2 plus when it is 1 gram per liter, and 3 plus when it is 3 grams per liter, and 4 plus when it is 10 grams per liter. And we see here platelet count is less than 1 lakh, renal insufficiency, serum transaminase levels increases. Here every organ system affected due to damage of endothelium and blood endothelial leak. In blood, we see thrombocytopenia. In liver, we see hepatocellular necrosis. We see CNS involvement, lung involvement. Okay, now let us discuss about severe preeclampsia. In severe preeclampsia, there may be headache, blurring of vision, scotoma, pulmonary edema, increased transaminase levels, epigastric pain due to the hepatocellular necrosis. When all these are present, it is classified as severe preeclampsia. And in peripheral end arterioles, there is activation and aggravation of platelets, which signify microangiopathic hemolysis. Now, etiology of preeclampsia. Mainly, there are 4 points which you have to mention in your exam. That is placental implantation with abnormal trophoblastic invasion of the uterine vessels. Next, immunological maladaptive tolerance between maternal, paternal and fetal changes. Next, maternal maladaptation to cardiovascular inflammatory changes that occur in normal pregnancy. And genetic factors, inherited predisposing genes and pre-genetic influences. So, now first let us discuss about placental implantation with abnormal trophoblastic invasion of the uterine vessels. Uh, in this, generally, in first trimester and second trimester, endovascular trophoblastic invasion takes place up to decidual segments and myometrial segments. In first trimester, that is 10 to 12 weeks, endovascular trophoblastic invades up to decidual segments. In second trimester, that is 16 to 18 weeks, another wave, that is second wave, it invades up to the myometrial segments. When it invades up to myometrial segments, it causes dilatation or spiral arterioles and convert them into broad-shaped elastic ones. And they change them as capacitance vessels and restore blood flow and cause high flow system. In it occurs, these all changes occur in normal pregnancy. And extensive remodeling of spiral arterioles within deciduea basalis, and the trophoblast replace vascular endothelium, muscular lining of myometrium to enlarge diameter and cause dilatation. So in normal pregnancy, spiral arterioles up to the deciduea basalis, that is up to decidual segments, there will be remodeling. But second wave, in second wave what happens is trophoblast is replaced by vascular endothelium and muscular lining of myometrium is replaced by trophoblast to enlarge diameter and cause dilatation. But what is that? It is absent in preeclampsia. As second wave is absent, trophoblastic invasion is incomplete. Myometrial segments become high resistant vessels and cause vasoconstriction and decrease in blood supply. Placental electron microscopic studies shows that accumulation of myoepithelial cells, abnormal narrow lumen, diminished blood flow, fetus does not grow. Okay, so Actually, in normal pregnancy, what happens is there will be mainly two waves. One wave is trophoblastic invasion up to decidual segments. Other wave is trophoblastic invasion up to the myometrial segments. That is, up to the decidual segments is nothing but there occurs extensive remodeling of spiral arterioles up to the decidual segment. And in second wave, up to the myometrial segments, trophoblast invasion goes and it replaces trophoblast replaces vascular endothelium, and trophoblast also replaces the vascular lining of myometrium, so that it enlarges in diameter and cause dilatation and cause low resistance, high capacitance, high flow system. But in pre-eclampsia, what happens is when second wave is absent, trophoblastic invasion is incomplete. That means myometrial vessels does not have trophoblastic invasion. That causes them, so there is no conversion into